Hi guys, we're moving to Seattle.
If there is a situation that needs to be corrected or taken care of, please look. And is also home to one of the largest houseboat communities in the United States. Water here in Seattle. This is one prime example. These are houses that were built on logs or floats. They do not have engines. And back in the day, they would just run an extension cord up and tap into the big power line. But nowadays, they're actually hardwired into the grid with plumbing and electrical.
Ganda, no?
Hot tubbing, actually, there are hot tub boats out here. We're going to pass one on our left.
Hi guys, we are moving to Apple.
Yeah, are you happy?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes. Oh, I see something. What's that?
Is that an airplane? Oh, it's an airplane, Marco. So cute.
We're going to eat now.
See you.
See you.
Current model. This model actually sits on top of the floating concrete blocks and has a 20-foot gap at the center span to allow the water to crash over the blocks but not the roadway. It is 47 feet high, so they don't need to open it up for any of the boats that come through this way. There is bridge control at the other side of the bridge, which handles all of the large vessels that come through. The lake does change levels from winter to summer. The reason why it does this is to prepare it.
What?
Where are you?
On the boat. Are we going back now?
Not yet. We're waiting for Daddy. Hi there. This is a video though. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Oh.
So off to our right is the neighborhood of Medina. This is also the home of Bill Gates.
What?
His property, which he refers to as Xanadu 2.0, starts off to our right here at about our 2 o'clock position with the flagpole with the American flag hanging straight down. Behind it there is a wood building with a slanted metal roof.
Oh.
That is the security building.
Wow.
They have 40 security guards that work on the property throughout the week. Next to that is a sport court.
That's the
It's
security.
in front and kind of a theater area for when his kids were small.
What?
The trees are blocking your view from a 150-person dining hall.
What?
And the dock here with the 2 boats on it is made out of purple heartwood. That's a furniture making wood. And that dock costs about $1 million to construct. Personal experience.
Marco,
Step out
this is
onto
the
that
house
dock.
of Bill.
The
Bill
lights
Gates.
come on from below and the music begins to play. That small sandy beach you see there is not indigenous of the state of Washington. It's actually brought in from St. Lucia several times a year in order to keep it sandy. There's a trout stream that runs through the property.
No.
There is an indoor swimming pool with underwater speakers and a trampoline room with 30-foot high ceilings.
Wow.
There are 4 homes within the home, so that when you come to stay at the Gates estate, you don't need to stay in the Gates' actual house. It is a smart property, and it took 10 years to construct. They purchased a sawmill in Oregon and kept it busy the whole time. The house is constructed from old timber pine, and it is considered upright pine, which means that there are no knot holes or knots or marks in any of the wood.
Wow.
There's a tunnel that leads to the house from the street, so you don't gain entrance in the traditional way of driving down a driveway. But it does lead within the home, so that when you come to stay at the Gates estate, you don't need to stay in the Gates' actual house. It is a smart property, and it took 10 years to construct. They purchased a sawmill in Oregon and kept it busy the whole time. The house is constructed from old timber pine, and it is considered upright pine, which means that there are no knot holes or knots or marks in any of the wood.
Wow.
There's a tunnel that leads to the house from the street, so you don't gain entrance in the traditional way of driving down a driveway. But it does lead to a 30-car garage.
Crazy, wow.
30 cars.
As I said, it took 10 years to construct.
30-car
Part of the reason for that is
garage.
when he started the construction, it was going to be a bachelor pad, but he met his wife and they got married, and then it turned into a family home. So that changed a lot of the plans. When the plans did become public, there were some neighbors that formed a committee to try and block the construction, because the plans showed that when you're seeing it from the water, you only see 1/3 of the house, as 2/3 of the house is buried into the embankment behind. There's a library in the house that has over 30,000 books, including one particular book that he paid $32 million
There's
for.
30,000 books?
That book is
Oh my
Leonardo da Vinci's
goodness.
sketchbook, the Codex Luster.
Oh my
So after the years of construction from the water and the possible erosion of the bank behind, concern of all of the neighbors, Mr. Gates went around and paid off 11 of his neighbors' mortgages as a way to say thank you for their patience and understanding.
What?
The group that had initially tried to block the construction quickly became the Bill Gates fan club, and he's never had an issue with them ever since.
Galing. What?
Determined that the chemical plant was bleeding chemicals into the lake, killing off all the sea life. So they decided to shut it down and switch over to a newer style of energy. They put a fence around the plant as they lacked the funds to tear it down at that time, and decided they would come back and tear it down in a few years after that. But by the time they got around to tearing it down, it had already become a Seattle landmark, sort of a time capsule to a bygone era. So they decided to leave it in place and turn the rest of the grounds into a park.
Hi, Daddy and Marco.
Hello.
Hi, Tommy.
Happy anniversary, Daddy.
Happy birthday,
And Mommy.
Mommy.